What's up, guys? Welcome back to Cool Fred's Garage. So today we're gonna go out to Mr. Furlow's and work on the 1972 Ford Gran Torino Sport. It's been about maybe a good 2.5 weeks since I've been out there, so hopefully we can get this bad boy close to being fired up. So if you've been liking the content, please like, subscribe, comment, all that good stuff. I'm gonna catch you guys up on a little bit about what's going on. We did have to order a few parts and stuff like that. So, all right. So I'm in the process of just gathering up my tools and some of the parts that got ordered in, and finna get ready to head out to go try to wrap that Ford up. I got this fuel pump relay kit this is from Amazon. The company who makes it is ZD Motors. I never heard of them, but I just kind of it's got 10 gauge wiring for the power and the fuel pump control. So basically it's a simple relay system. It's got a I believe it's a 30 amp fuse in here with a weather pack connector. So it looked like it was pretty easy to wire in, and it tells you where to put the wires at. So this should be something that's very simple to get hooked up in there. So yeah, we're gonna be running a quick fuel pump. It's similar to this style fuel pump they got here in this picture. I'm not sure if I showed that, but we'll see it later on. But notice while going through some of the fuel pump stuff that it was missing, like the bracket and the screws, like the mounting bracket for the fuel pump regulator. So I called up Quick Fuel, which is a part of Holly. So I was able to get through and talk to them on the phone, and this stuff didn't cost a whole lot of money. With shipping and everything, it was like less than $10 to get this bracket and get it shipped out. So got the right bracket and the screws to mount the regulator to like the body of the car, like the fender, probably the fender well or whatever. But so these screws right here secure the regulator to this bracket. And then this bracket here's got, you know, several different mounting holes where you can mount it to the car. So so we're about to head out. I'm about to load up my tools and get ready to head out, and hopefully we can get that bad boy started up. So you know, I got a Summit catalog just in case we, I guess, need to look through there to find something, but whatever. Just got a Summit catalog on hand. And then I got my, this is basically a 1970s repair manual for motors. One of my dad's, I want to say his first cousin, he had several of these repair manuals, and they were just real good on, it's got all kind of good information in there, like firing orders, just a lot of information about the car. So like if we run into a little hiccup or whatever, I can look in here and I can get the firing order and things like that. So it's got a lot of little stuff. That's kind of interesting. I opened it up and it's already like in the Ford and Mercury section. But it's got a lot of good little info. You know, I mean, it pretty much covers a lot of cars in that area. Gives you some principles, some specs, things like that. Like right here, this is that's telling you about how to get an oil pump properly set up and things like that. So it's a pretty good. There is some AC stuff in here too. So it's kind of a good book. It's almost close to a factory repair manual, but this one covers like all domestic models, like Ford, Chrysler, GM. So, and a cool thing in this book here, I don't know if I mentioned, but I believe the original book that our cousin lent us back in the day, we ended up losing that at a junkyard, trying to fire up a 1972 Oldsmobile Cutlass. So we left the book behind. But how I came up on this book, I'm not sure, the one I had, I don't know if it went back to 1969 or 1970, but they generally go about, I want to say like a 7 or 8 year span. So I believe the one I had was maybe a little bit older, went back to like 1969. As you can see, this was 1971 to 1977. So I found this book, I just put in a search, but I was actually on Amazon, and there was a bookstore that had this book. Now, it's got a little tape on it, but it's not like really aged or nothing. It was kind of classified as a good, I guess, used or fair condition. So, well, basically, you can see right here where this book came from, a library. So basically, a library is trying to get rid of some of these books. I bought this book for like less than $3. It was like $2.80 plus whatever the shipping was. So some of these books would probably be like 50 or $100 if you had to buy one new, probably more than that. So that's that. So all right, so I'm finna grab my tools up and get ready to head out here. All right, guys, so I just rolled out, about to head to go, I'm on the way to go work on that Ford. So I had to hop in the 1973 Chevy Impala because my truck is down. So I'm waiting, I got to put a water pump on it. So I'm waiting on some parts to arrive. I actually got the water pump for it, just waiting on some belts and pulleys to show up. So I got all my tools in the back of the trunk of this thing. And I'm headed on over here. So this right here is a car I built over the years. So this car right here was actually this was my grandfather's car. And my dad gave it to me back in 2000. But actually the Ford that we're working on, him and my dad, they were real good friends back from Madison, Georgia. And Mr. Furlow actually remembers this car when it was almost new, because my grandfather bought it in 1974, so basically a year after it came out. So they remember the car when it was the original factory color, which was maroon, and things like that. So I'm cruising down the road in this thing. I'm finna go grab a quick bite to eat, and then I'm gonna head on over there, and we're gonna see if we can get that Ford started up. What's up, guys? I'm back real quick. I just wanted to say, I'm just listening to some music here, and Al Green came on. So that's setting the mood just right. Riding down the road in a classic car, a 1973 Chevy, or anything in the 1970s. You riding around cruising and Al Green come on. That's setting the mood just right. All right, here we go. Day 3 on the Ford Gran Torino Sport. So I guess I'm gonna continue on and get this fuel pump connected. I've already got some of the fuel. This is the fuel pressure regulator right here. So I'll go ahead and continue on with that, and get some of the coolant hoses and stuff connected. All right, so what I'm doing now is I'm under the car trying to figure out where I'm gonna mount that fuel pump at. So main thing is trying to make sure that it's away from like the exhaust and the suspension stuff. This right here is the fuel supply line. This is where the gas gets sucked out of the tank. That's the main fuel feed line right there. So the fuel lines are gonna have to run kind of from here to the pump, and then out of the pump into here. So I'm trying to figure that out. I'm just trying to get a good location. Most time they recommend you mounting the fuel pump a little lower than the tank area, so it'll be pretty much like a gravity fed. So I'm up under here trying to figure that out real quick. So the owner of the car already had someone drop the fuel tank and drain it, so to make sure that there's no contaminants and stuff like that in there. So we're gonna be putting fresh gas in it. All right, so here's a quick update here on the. So I did finally get I got the fuel pump mounted. One of the best places I could mount it was right here on the frame area here, but make sure I'm not hitting that trailing arm. But this is the emergency brake cable. But right now I put the jack up under the rear end and raise it up a little bit so I can make sure that this is gonna have some good clearance and not like really make sure this parking brake cable is not gonna hinder anything. And so far it looks like I'm good. So I got the inlet line running from the fuel tank into the pump. All right, so this right here is the fuel pump supply where it comes out of the fuel tank, and I kind of got it running up that way. It's out of the way of the exhaust. I got it running up kind of the top of the frame over this. This is like the spring pocket area for the rear suspension. So basically it's going over that and coming out right here, kind of close to where they run the fuel lines from the factory. So it's gonna run in here. So I kind of curved that line a little bit so it doesn't kink, so it don't kink up. And I got a few zip ties that's gonna secure it. So one's right there and another one's right there. And I probably put just a couple more just to kind of keep it in place. So you can kind of see a little bit where you can access it over through here, like right in there. So it kind of run right up along there to the frame. So yep, that's what we got going on so far. So everything's coming along pretty good. All right, so one thing that I forgot about was I forgot, as you can see, I went back and I put a fuel filter right there in this line, this inlet line that's going to the fuel pump, because it needs to filter out the fuel that's in the tank coming from out of here over to there. So I had to go back and put that fuel filter in there. So what made me think about it was I was just kind of mapping out the rest of the system, trying to figure out where I'm gonna put things. And I was up under the hood. So while I was under the hood, I saw that I got this fuel filter right here. So this is gonna be this is right before it goes into the regulator. So kind of right. So I'm probably gonna clean this up a little bit, maybe make this shorter. So this is that's gonna be the fuel inlet line down there. So the fuel pump is gonna pump through this hose into the regulator. So I'm gonna mount this regulator probably somewhere around right here. So that's like the next step. And then I'm gonna go ahead and get the wire harness for the relay kit wired up. So this car's got a very simple electrical fuse box down here. So probably a little tricky to see, but there's one connection. Looks like it says, I'm not sure if that's AC or accessory, but long as when I turn the key, if it's got like battery voltage around like 12 volts or whatever, when I turn the key on. That'll be good. When I cycle the key, I'll be able to tap into that, and I'll be able to tap into that, and that'll power up the relay and run the pump. So I'm gonna go ahead and it's like a little area. I'm gonna start running the relay kit. So there's a grommet right there on this back side of the firewall here. So I'm gonna run it through there, tie it into the fuse box, and somehow once it has battery power in the ground, we'll be able to run that fuel pump. All right, I just mounted the fuel pressure regulator right here on the firewall, so it's nice and sturdy. So basically, the next thing I got to do is just kind of get the inlet hose, the main supply hose going in, get that in there. So I'm probably gonna put a little bit of steel braided line there, just to kind of help it stay out of the way of the headers. I guess I'm probably just gonna run it up along the this inner fender lining and maybe secure it here with some of those rubber strap. They like hose and line securing straps. So I'll probably do that. And I'm gonna go ahead and get rid of this this line for the old oil pressure gauge. Let's see what I do with that screwdriver I just had. All right, so inside the car here, I guess I need maybe a little bit of a longer screwdriver, but I'm gonna go ahead and get rid of this. That old oil pressure gauge, get that out of the way. Because in the other video, I ran actually we got a set of new gauges that are going in here. But at the moment, this oil pressure right here, we just got that ran temporarily. Well, it's not temporary, but pretty much got this just basically just sitting here. It's plugged up. That way we don't have oil shooting out of the motor, and plus we'll be able to see what our oil pressure readings are. So I'm gonna go ahead and get rid of this. So here's like some under the dash screws here to kind of secure it. So we might have to cut this and get rid of this. So this thing right here, this is the old oil pressure gauge that was in here. So I feel like it's made by S&W gauges, but you know, it's got some signs of leakage maybe through the gauge. So this thing's just old and worn out.